Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs postgame show presented by PointsBet. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Yowza.
Yikes.
Luke Stuckmeyer and Cody Delmendo with you after an opener in Milwaukee that didn't go well for the Cubs.
One might say it was not great, Bob.
That's an understatement. Cubs get blown out in the series opener with the Brewers 11-1. They had 3 hits, while the Brewers had 6 home runs. This is one you can flush, Cody.
Yeah, this is one we throw into Lake Michigan. I think Joe Madden started that saying back in the day. That's one you throw into Lake Michigan and just forget about it. There's nothing you can even really I was trying to think of things we could pull from this that are positive, but there's literally nothing. I mean, I was hoping Sean Newcomb was going to give us a couple innings of good and start off nice, and then he gave up a couple homers. And then they bring Ethan Roberts in after he threw almost 30 pitches last night. I have no idea why you're bringing the kid in after he throws almost 30 pitches last night when it's already a blowout. So you're ruining his confidence more, and then instead of just using a goddamn position player. I mean, I was honestly hoping for a position player so we could laugh about something whenever we came in here.
It's always fun. The position player coming in is always fun.
Yeah. Nick G says Rivas kept hitting. He had 2 hits. So
that's right. Yeah, we will get to that.
Yeah. That's probably the one positive
there
from
it is.
Tonight is Rivas.
There's the silver lining.
Yeah.
2 hits. 2 hits from Rivas. Ryan Herrera is up in Milwaukee, and he's going to hopefully be joining us on the podcast before it's all over. He's working in the locker room, getting sound from David Ross. All right, let's start with Kyle Hendricks. And I think one thing you could talk about in general about the Cubs is they have been consistently inconsistent. I know that sounds stupid, and it is stupid, but that's what they've been. They've been inconsistent this season, and Hendricks has been that as well. 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. This was not a good one for him. Kyle's had 5 starts this season. He's been good. He's been bad. He's been okay. Then he was good again. Now he is bad. So he's had 2 good starts, 2 bad starts, and 1 average start.
Yep.
And so he's been sort of the roller coaster that the Cubs have been too. I don't know if that's what to expect this season or if he will pull it together. But you notice, the home-away splits are strange.
Yeah, I mean, what? Opening day.
Yeah.
5 1/3, I believe, off the top of my head. 7 strong innings last Saturday at Wrigley, and then even the okay start.
His 2 good starts. Right?
Yeah. Well, and the okay start, I believe, was at home too.
Yeah.
So he's had 3 home starts. 2 of the 3 are really good, and the other one was just okay, and I think that was against Tampa Bay. And then Colorado, this one, and
what do we got here? No, it wasn't. It was the Rays.
Oh, was it the
Not
Rays?
Colorado. It was Tampa.
Well, he only gave up 2 runs on that one, 4 1/3. It was okay against Tampa.
Yeah, that was his average.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all I know is he struggled against Pittsburgh. He struggled against Colorado. Thought he pitched against Colorado.
No, he struggled against Pittsburgh twice, right?
Was it Pittsburgh twice?
Or no, his 2 bad were Pittsburgh and Milwaukee.
Okay.
Pittsburgh and Milwaukee.
Either way, yeah. Sorry. It's late.
It is late. Yeah, let me tell you, it's late.
Yeah. Do I think this is something that we should be worried about? I feel like this is something we've been talking about for years when it comes to Kyle Hendricks when we're in April. I felt like this was his last April start. Talk to me in June, and if this happens in May, like where it's inconsistent, then I feel like we can then be like, all right, first off, he's just not a top of a rotation guy. I feel like that's what we can say then. People who have been saying that he's not, I get it.
Well, you didn't watch the last start.
Yeah, you didn't watch the last start. And then you also didn't watch the important games in 2021. He had a 16-game stretch where he was really good last year. he was really good in 2020 in those 12 starts that he had. He was right up there with Yu Darvish in 2020 if you want to count that. And then in 2019 he was solid. He wasn't the top of the rotation guy then, but he was really good. But if you want to talk about number one starter in the rotation guy, does he have the stuff? Does he have like lockdown nasty stuff that's going to get you go out there and give you a Jacob deGrom like performance? No, he's not that. But can he be a top 3 rotation guy in your rotation? Yes.
Cody, I got some numbers to back you up here. You're saying how he's had some bad Aprils.
Yeah.
7.54 ERA last season. 2020, there wasn't an April season.
Right.
We go back to 2019, 5.33 ERA. Every single month after that April, so in May, he's been great.
So he's the Anthony Rizzo of the pitching staff who also used to struggle in April. Here's the deal, Cody. Like, we're watching tonight's game, and the first batter, he plunks him.
Yeah.
Right?
After all the talk.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But it was like an 80-mile-an-hour pitch. It wasn't on purpose.
Right.
And by the way, there was no beanball tonight, so that was good to see.
Yeah,
maybe it's finally over.
Doubt it. I think it's just because it was a blowout.
He hits that first batter, and what I say, this could be a long night because with Kyle Hendricks, generally, you know what you're going to get after the first couple batters. If he doesn't have that fastball control and command, and then the changeup control and command, it's a long night. Now, sometimes he finds it after a bad first inning. Like he's noted for having rough first innings.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he finds it in the second inning. But when a guy whose entire game plan is based around fooling the batter, command, knowing where the ball is going to go, putting it exactly where he needs it, when he hits the first guy, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
And it kind of followed. It unraveled later.
Yeah.
But at least, I guess in a positive, at least he made it to the fifth inning.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great start.
Right. I would say, I know he hit Wong in the first inning, but he got out of it with fairly no issues.
No, it's like a sign of that he doesn't have his.
Yeah. What really, who knows what would have happened the next inning, but man, if we could go back and see if Nico Horner can redo that error and make that play on Kane, because if he makes that play, they're out of the inning. Then Peterson doesn't come up and hit the homer. So what happens? Like, who knows what happens? That is what it is. That's hindsight 2020. And it's hard to even be mad at Nico because, like, he's been great defensively.
Oh,
shortstop.
He's been good.
Like, no one's questioning if he can do that.
David Ross said that in the game broadcast. They were talking to him about it. He's like, Nico makes that play 99% of the time.
Right. And I think the league ended up giving Kane a hit. I thought it should have been an error either way, but, it is what it is. Tonight, Kyle Hendricks wasn't good, and our offense stinks. I don't know. Even the bullpen had some bad, but like it's not like Ross uses high leverage of guys, except for Ethan Roberts. That I don't understand why he put him in there after he pitched him yesterday. So, and the guys that did pitch, you're hoping that maybe they would, eat some innings and be able to leave you thinking, okay, we built some confidence. Maybe we can use them in a high leverage spot. None of them did that. So like, it's kind of like there's nothing from this. This is literally one that, like I said, you throw it in Lake Michigan and you just hope and pray that who's starting tomorrow? Justin Steele comes out and can get you 5 innings tomorrow. It's just really depressing at the current moment. Steven says when Hendricks sucks like tonight, he is really bad. Add the whole team struggled offensively. Feels like this season is almost over. Brother. Oh, brother.
It is not almost over.
Oh, my God.
It's been a rough April for Cubs fans.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is that it started out really well.
Yeah.
That first series with the Brewers, there was a lot of optimism.
Right.
And a lot of people were disappointed they split in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
But they still played good baseball, and you still saw the offense really kind of showing signs of, wow, this is the new offense. They're going to make lots of contact.
The fact that they split in Colorado, I thought was a big deal.
Yeah,
too.
and it was like, okay, they had some pitching performances. Don't get me wrong. There have been some things they have done well early in the season, and we'll say this probably 8,000 times throughout the season. realistically, this season is about exploring and developing, right?
Yeah.
Those two things, and not necessarily in that order, developing and probably then exploring, but the idea that they're on the same level as the Brewers right now, they're just not.
No,
they're
not.
And
we can only make our jokes about Wrigley North as much as we can.
Well, I said what we were talking about was inconsistency. Well, look at the offense the last 5 games, right? Those first couple games we were talking about, oh, look at all the hits. They don't need home runs. They're going to score runs this way. Okay, they lost to a team that hit 6 home runs.
Yeah.
The other team hits 6 home runs. You're going to lose most of the time, especially when you only have 3 hits. You're going to lose 99.9999% of the time. But the last 5 games, like Kyle Hendricks, the offense has been consistent. They start off great, right? They get like 10 hits. Then they go 4 hits. Do we have that graphic? It was 10 hits, 4 hits, 11 hits, and now 2 nights in a row, 3 hits. You can't get 3 hits and 3 hits and win too many games, especially when those 3 hits are not guys cracking home runs.
Yeah. Hey, we haven't mentioned this, but I feel like Clint Frazier not being around, like with his appendicitis. Who knows?
He wasn't doing a lot before he got hurt.
He wasn't doing a lot, but like they were getting him in the lineup still. They were finding a way to get him in the lineup. Who knows if that's? I doubt it really has much, but
well, Suzuki's off to a great start still, but he's not as blistering hot as he was.
And you can't expect a guy to carry you every single night.
No.
So, yeah, it's just, it's kind of like what I said about the lineup at the beginning. It's like, I don't like VR's batting second. And I understand why Ortega's at the top, but like, you
called it with VR. This is the VR Milwaukee revenge game. And then he struck out twice and dribbled one to first. I was like, well, I guess we're going to have to lose that. What did he end up doing? 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, 3 left on base.
Yeah.
It was not the VR revenge game.
No, it was not.
But you never know. That could be tomorrow if he's still in the lineup.
Yeah. I feel like they need to move Horner up and maybe put Madrigal in the 9-hole. Because they're essentially the same type of player. I didn't
want to see them rush to that decision because Nico Horner was hitting well and playing well where they had him.
I get that.
And
also, though, like when your offense is struggling, you got to do things to. They finally started playing Rivas. We need to move Horner up because he's putting the ball in play. He's getting on base. He's making things happen more often than not. And you're just not setting the table off well in the first inning when it's Ortega and VR. I'm sorry. It just isn't.
And VR was hot for a little while, but he hasn't been since
we left Colorado.
Right.
So, and I don't think VR is a bad hitter by any
he's a role player.
Yeah, he's a role player and he's just a solid major leaguer, but he's not someone that they should be putting second in the lineup compared to Nico Horner, who you're trying to figure out if he's your shortstop of the present and future. And it's like, give this guy more bats at the top, put Madrigal down at 9 at the 9-hole because they're essentially the same type of player. Like, what's the difference? Also, Madrigal sat the last 2 days. Why? I'd rather see
Madrigal play more.
Yeah. He had been playing well, and then he had a 2-hit game against the Braves, and then he sat the next 2 nights. For VR, like
who was struggling not only offensively
in defense,
but prior to that it was defensively.
Right. Again, I have nothing against VR. I think he's a solid guy who the Cubs potentially could get something for at the deadline.
We had enough confidence to think this was going to be his revenge game.
It's just like. Happen. Lil Yumper says, been saying this Ross's lineups make you scratch your head. And it's like, yes, in a way. And it's not because they're always different. It's because it's the same, like they're different, but then parts of them are always the same every single day. Nico Horner in the 9-hole. Ortega batting leadoff. Like, I'm all with this roster, I'm all for having a different lineup. But if you're going to have a different lineup every day, for the love of God, can we not have the same leadoff hitter be Ortega or Nico Horner down at the 9 hole? Like, put your best hitters at the top of the lineup. It's not like it's rocket science at this point with this team.
Well, so Steven says, I lost it there for a second. But Steven said they got to stick with the same lineup for like a week, right? Don't you think? And here's my thing. We've also mentioned this. Not only are the Cubs developing and exploring this season, right?
Right.
David Ross is also going to be evaluated really for the first time. I mean, because throw 2020 out the season. The whole season out the window, right? Like, He did a good job. It was his first season, and it was crazy. You're playing a 60-game season. I don't know how you even evaluate that.
Right. In the pandemic.
There's no fans.
Whatever.
Like, the whole thing is just, forget it even existed. He wasn't even a manager then. Then you bring in last season, and you trade away at the trade deadline all of his core players.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how you evaluate that. Now he's got to, I believe, be almost perfect at picking the line. He's not going to have the same lineup every day because he doesn't have everyday players right now.
Yeah.
He has guys he's trying to find are everyday players for the front office.
Yeah.
And because they have not proven that they're everyday players, they're not everyday players. So he's trying to mix and match just based on a lot, I think, his feel for what he thinks is happening with those players and matchups, obviously. Now, maybe some of these moves are not enough feel and too much of the numbers matchups for fans that are questioning the lineups. That's probably it, because some of the stuff is he's also trying to balance and make sure that each of these guys are getting the right amount of opportunities. Now, what he believes are the right amount of opportunities may not line up what we believe are the right amount of opportunities. So he's still trying to win and develop at the same time. And my point is, he's going to be judged because every day he's going to put out a lineup that is going to be judgeable.
Yeah.
At every spot.
Right.
Because there isn't somebody you can just other than Suzuki and Contreras, there aren't too many guys. And so far, Nico Horner, there aren't too many guys you can just pencil in and say, this guy should be here, this guy should be here, and this guy should be here. Now, defensively, you can say that for those three, but you can't even say that in the lineup. I mean, Suzuki's moved around, Contreras has moved around.
Yeah.
And really, Horner has stayed in that spot and done well, but
I mean,
it's not going to be an easy job for him. I know that.
Right. You looking at the lineup right now. Thanks, Steven. The guys who belong in the lineup every single day to me are Suzuki, Happ, Horner, and Contreras. Those are the four.
Uh-huh.
And then you can make arguments for Wisdom, except and then maybe sit him on certain days when you got a really tough righty matchup. Alfonso Rivas is deserving of every day at bats right now. Will he be able to sustain that? I don't know, but that's why we need him to play every day so we can find out.
Even if they're as the DH.
Exactly. And then after that, I mean, pregame show I said Schwindel's really struggling right now. I like the platoon idea with him and Rivas. Let Schwindel face some lefties because he's really struggling to start the year. Yeah, after
Lil
that,
Yumper saying David Ross just got extended. LOL. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the Cubs believe in him. I'm saying he's finally going to be judged by the fans somewhat fairly. Like we have nothing to base anger about David Ross. He really hasn't managed a team that's been in a real season.
Yeah,
he's managed a season that didn't exist, and then he's managed a season in where they quit halfway through.
Right, and you knew going in the season they were probably going to do that.
100%.
Like I can try.
So he was trying
I
to
tried myself to believe that they
Right.
wouldn't, and who knows if they would have if they were still in it. But that 11-game losing streak, we all remember. What else does Lil Yumper say? He says, I think Madrigal needs to be in the lineup every day. He was the centerpiece of the Kimbrel trade. See what he has. I
would like to see more Madrigal.
Played 98 games. I agree. Madrigal would be the other guy too, and that's why I said if
instead of VR,
I would
have
rather
preferred
see
to
Madrigal. And again, he had a 2-hit game the other night, and then he sat the last 2 nights. I don't know why, but you got to get Madrigal in there because we got to see what he can do. You know what I mean? And I know he can be a frustrating player. So far this month, he has kind of been one, but. Again, I'd rather see him, on a consistently night basis. And again, I think that allows you to move Nico up to first or second in the lineup and put Madrigal in the 9-hole. And then on certain days, I guess you could still play VR if you want to sit Wisdom.
Right. But your reason is what really makes sense. And your reason is because Madrigal could be a piece of the future. You hope is a piece of the future.
Right.
And a long-term VR is not a piece of the future. He's a guy that's filling some holes on a team that's trying to hang in there to hang around long enough to find their way to a wild card spot while developing and exploring.
Right, exactly.
He's a pro. But you would rather see, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you would rather see the guy that could be the future, part of the future, as opposed to someone who's likely not part of the future.
Yeah, and I understand why VR was in the lineup tonight. It's not that I was even upset that VR was in the lineup. It's the fact that he was batting second tonight when he was in the midst of a 6 for 33 stretch or whatever it was. And it's in that it kind of goes the same with Ortega. Like, I understand why David Ross is playing Ortega there because he works, counts, walks, and his batting average doesn't show it, but he does get on base at a decent clip for him at least. But we got to find someone, we got to find 2 new guys to put up in the 1-2 hole if we want to score runs. And Nico Horner, like I said, has been playing well. You put him up higher, he's going to get more bats. That's all I'm asking.
True. That is true.
So, and they tried Seiya at second, and he kind of cooled off, so they moved him down to fifth tonight to maybe take some pressure off him. That didn't really help anything. The fact of the matter is that Seiya, despite the fact that he started off real hot, he's still the league is adjusting right now.
Sure.
And he's going through the motions, and he's just not God like he was that first week and a half or two. You know what I mean? So that's why you gotta find a way to get production out of other guys, and that's why it's we need to move Horner up. We need to change some things. I don't know, put someone other than Ortega lead off. I don't even mind that Ortega's in the lineup. I just don't want him to lead off anymore. I hope that's my thing. I don't know where you put him, but I just don't want you to lead off with him anymore. And the only reason that I say that I don't mind he's in there is because I know that David Ross is going to play him anyway. Because I've been screaming for Hermosillo to get more playing time for an actual shot, just to find out who he is. But David Ross doesn't want to listen to me. So if we're going to play Ortega or Hayward every day, then play him somewhere, not lead off. That's all I'm asking.
So again, the Cubs get pounded by the Brewers in game 1 of the series, 11-1 the final. Let's see. Fam Guy 218 says at least some of the minor leaguers look better. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. We're going to talk about some of the minor leaguers to give this a little bit of a positive spin tonight. Will Yumper says Seiya really has no one to protect him right now.
That's true.
I agree with both of those.
Yeah.
Will Yumper says he's not angry at Ross. The team wasn't constructed to win.
Yeah.
And Jack just wants a wild card race because he wants to make the summer enjoyable.
Right.
That sums up your whole life right there, Cody.
Yeah, it really does sum up my entire existence for this year. Is I just want something to be excited about. Wouldn't it just be so fun to watch this team get into the last wild card spot, which means that they find all the answers to a bunch of people, and then also still have this insane farm system that the Cubs have right now? Wouldn't that be so fun. Like
I'm going to pull you out of the depths of despair here, Cody. They have been finding things for the future. It may not be enough to keep them in a wild card race. You know, your 95 wins or whatever you predicted might be a little 87 might be a little optimistic on this season. So might the 81 and 81 that I predicted might be a little optimistic. But Seiya, despite struggling recently, still looks like a piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Nico Horner, more and more, is looking like an everyday shortstop. At the very worst, he's looking like an everyday second baseman / utility player in a Ben Zobrist type style.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Keegan Thompson shoves.
He does shove.
Correct?
Yes.
Scott Efros looks great as well. They've found some veteran relievers beyond that, whether it's Givens, Robertson, that if they aren't your wild card team, they will be able to flip and get some prospects at the end of the season.
It's true.
And Brendan Davis isn't here yet. And some of the other guys we're going to talk about in a minute aren't here yet. So those pieces of development are still there. And by the way, we have both said we believe the Cubs should keep Wilson Contreras and let him be that emotional piece that carries 2016 as a position player into the next great Cubs team. If they decide that's not the piece, then more prospects are going to be coming if they're not there in that wild card race too, because I don't think there's any way they let that ride out without getting something for Wilson Contreras. So one way or another, Wilson's going to show value. Now, again, I prefer it. I would, as a Cubs fan, want to see them keep him, but either way, he has value to this team. So there's positives on this team. In fact, I'm sort of surprised that a month into the season, I feel pretty confident in some of those answers. I didn't think after 1 month we'd be like, yep, Keegan Thompson looks like the real deal. I didn't think we'd have Seiya Suzuki and we'd be like,
oh, God.
Yep, real deal. This is terrifying. I've just been terrified. Yep. Just when you thought the day couldn't get worse from the Bears draft and the Cubs game, the furry convention is in town.
What is going on?
Cubs are small bears.
If bad audio, great visual. All I can say is go watch our YouTube video.
Do we have to wash that before we return it? Probably. Oh, it's yours?
Oh.
I don't want to know why you own that.
Luke, you don't have one of those at home?
Really?
Wow. What a moment we just had here in Studio C. Wow.
Yeah, there it is.
If you had bets on a bear coming into the studio tonight, you're a winner.
If you didn't feel bad enough about an 11-1 loss to the Brewers, some guy in a bear costume just crashed our podcast.
Yeah.
Jack wants to see Nico lead off. You good with that? I just don't want to put too much pressure.
Yeah. See,
I want to see the success continue.
I like 2-hole.
Even if it's at the cost of losing games right now.
Yeah, I like 2-hole or 5-hole. 5 or 6. 5, 6, or 2. That's what I like. If I had to choose between those 3, I'd probably say 2 for this team. Because generally, in this age, you want your best player hitting 2 or 3. But Seiya is...
For me, mostly because you get more bats.
Right. But in this case, with this team, Seiya... I don't want to say he's not ready to be in that 2-hole. I say that, and he'll probably be batting second tomorrow. But I just... With him being down at the 5 tonight, that just kind of tells me that maybe they are trying to take some pressure off him. So right now, who I think should be batting second is Ian Happ. He's outside of say he's the best power contact.
Nice play in left field.
Yeah. Nice. That's the second positive.
Yeah, that was the second positive.
Yeah.
The third positive was, Cody, that there were 12 runs scored in the game, but none in the first inning.
Yes, no run first inning was never a doubt. I made that bet on PointsBet. Luke, he did not. He was unable to make the bet in time.
Yeah, we left here, and then we went out to watch the game, and it escaped my mind. And I only had about 5 minutes to go make that bet.
And he always forgets
and it
his
was going to take me
passwords.
longer than that to get the password for the login.
Yeah.
I need to make it earlier in the day.
Yeah, he's got to do it earlier in the day. Anyway, I made those bets on PointsBet, and the best way to support CHGO is to download the PointsBet app and use code CHGO when you sign up. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content, and you'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. If you have any questions, email pointsbet@allchgo.com, and we'll help you. Remember that PointsBet is your home for live in-game betting. They even have a new exclusive feature, live NBA same-game parlay for the first time ever. Build the perfect live same-game parlay only with PointsBet. Combine your favorite bets anytime during the game. You can even boost your live same-game parlays. And now, online sign-up is available in Illinois. You can actually download the PointsBet app right now and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. Yes, Luke did it as well, so you can too. I know. Luke, on his phone, it is exactly what you might expect. And if he was able to download
it is not a rotary phone. It's an iPhone.
Yeah, but just watching you on your phone, Luke, it's a sight to see.
It is not like that.
You're definitely a one-finger pointer guy.
One finger pointer. He's got his readers on.
Wait a minute. What are you guys talking? What are you supposed to be, like 2 fingers swiping all over your screen?
This is how I do it, Luke.
First of all,
this is how I'm just like
you don't know what it's like to have readers.
Yeah, I only need one.
It's the beginning of the end.
Anyway, so to go with the fastest.
I could see 100 yards away, though. I could see a mouse on a.
Oh my God! Signing up with the fastest sportsbook is now easier than ever. You can start living your bet life in seconds. Use code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. So what are you waiting for? Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
JRM says at the game tonight, this rivalry has lost steam. Where's the Chicago invasion?
It's always there, man. That's Wrigley North.
There were still, I could see.
I saw some blue in there.
You know what? I saw a lot of empty seats. I don't think Brewer fans were necessarily diving into the stadium tonight either. In fact, a friend of mine was in town.
It's been Wrigley North even before the Cubs were World Series champions.
Yeah, my buddy of mine's in town from Nebraska, and he was saying, should I go up to Milwaukee? I'm like, sure you could. And he's like, oh, we don't have to buy tickets yet because there's tons available. So I knew it wasn't going to be
not enough
crowd.
people went to Subway before the game, I guess.
Ouch. Hey, support for CHGO is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code CUBS at manscaped.com. The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh, baby, is it a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. First off, the Lawnmower 4.0, this trimmer is the future of grooming. Flat out. It's like a Porsche, you know? Dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce the grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof, also has a 400K LED spotlight for a more precise shave.
It is precise.
And because this trimmer is waterproof, there it is.
There it is.
Because it's waterproof, you can say goodbye to that mess on the bathroom floor. You thought that was good, but now you want to take your grooming game even further to the next level. Well, the Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. Cody, huh? cleaned them out, didn't I?
Yeah, your ears are
Right?
perfect.
They look
Luke.
beautiful.
Look at you, man.
I can hear better. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and provides proprietary skin-safe technology which helps reduce nicks, snags, tugs in those delicate nose holes. I think they're called nostrils, but I'll go with nose holes. Their Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner will change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Trust me when I say it, fellas, your balls will thank you. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort and boxers to another level. So get 20% off, free shipping with the code CUBS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code CUBS. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. You know who we should give this to? The guy who just showed up here in the bear outfit.
To Lawrence?
He's got some trimming to do.
Yeah, he got a haircut today, so he doesn't look as much like Aaron Rodgers anymore. But
No, but then he came in a furry costume.
Yeah.
And it was a little...
I love this comment from FamGuy218. He says, came to hear some Cubs talk, stayed for the balls trimmer promo. That just made my night. That's probably
Daniel
the best
says this
comment
whole
ever.
ad is cringy. Does sound like a great product.
It
Daniel,
is.
Daniel, it's a,
I got
and it's
that
a,
lawnmower
it's a bargain.
4.0.
And the toner.
Yeah. I got the Weed Whacker as well. I got the
Look at
boxer
this.
briefs. I got a couple t-shirts. I might as well just be a walking advertisement for Manscaped when
A
I'm at
couple
home.
days ago, I'd be putting a shadow by lifting my nose up like that. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Look at you, Luke.
Yep.
Getting the job done.
All right.
Okay.
So 11-1, Cubs lose to get back on track.
Do we have to? Do we have to get on track?
11-1,
We
Cubs
just
lose
sit
to
here
the
and talk
Brewers.
about the Weed Whacker for another 30
And
minutes.
so let's talk. You know, I tried to give you some of the positives, things they're finding. Keegan Thompson, Suzuki. Also in the minor leagues, some good things coming on. We had Brian Smith on Monday, right, from Cub Prospects on Twitter. And he likes to go through everybody that's doing well. And somebody on that podcast was like, "What about Porter Hodge?"
Yeah.
To which I was like, "Who?
Who?
Porter who? Porter Moser?" Well, sure enough, Porter Hodge shoved
He did shove
in Myrtle Beach tonight. And Brian was telling us, like, hey, that's a guy, he's legit. He should be moving up. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts.
Yep. And in 3 games in Myrtle Beach this year, he's got a 2.19 ERA. He's got 15 strikeouts to 3 walks.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Last year he was in Myrtle Beach and then got promoted to South Bend towards in the second half of the season. They started him back in Myrtle Beach this year. Looks like he's according to these numbers and his numbers last season, much better at Myrtle Beach this year than last year. So I will assume he might be finding his way in South Bend soon. But
you don't
that's
want.
just
I
me.
mean, you want to see success, but you don't want to see
Yeah.
where he doesn't have to throw his pitches correctly to get guys out. Like if his stuff is just too good for the level, then you're not accomplishing
Right.
anything.
Yeah, and he's only 21 years old.
I like it.
Yeah, he's 21 years old this year. So, I mean, there's a lot to like.
I mean, a Porter Hodge Cubs jersey sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That would. If your name is Porter Hodge and you're a pitcher, you are born to shove. If this guy becomes a Cub one day and does not shove, I will not understand life.
Guys,
So-
we got a big leader joining our studio right now. He's also pretty young. Ryan Herrera in the house.
Hey,
Oh,
I don't know any Ryan Herreras that shove, so I'm glad he's doing this podcast with us
I
instead.
shove all the
that's
time, man. Come on.
Sorry you had to sit through that barn burner.
that was a long drive for that one.
Oh yeah, no, it was. I mean, it was kind of like watching a home run derby. Like, so I felt
Yeah.
like I was in LA a couple months early watching a home run derby. So that was all right, but no, it was not a pretty game to watch here in Milwaukee.
6 home runs for the Brewers, of course, none for the Cubs. They had just 3 hits again for the second straight night. How did David Ross spin it after the game? Did he just say throw this one away, or what were the Cubs saying?
I mean, kind of. We kind of asked a lot about Kyle because he gave up 3 home runs. Kyle struggled today, so Ross is kind of somewhat mostly when we talked to Kyle, at least he was kind of saying on those the 2 first home runs, the one to Peterson and the one to McCutchen, he said that he actually located it where he wanted to. It was just he got beat. And that's kind of what we talked about last time, which if sometimes you get beat and you just kind of tip your cap. I think that's kind of the vibe is Kyle mechanically felt like it was there at times. And, obviously it kind of went off the rails. It was at the 5th inning. But yeah, I mean, it was just kind of, it's 11-1 game. You can't take too many positives out of this. So go back to the drawing board and come back tomorrow night and try to, not lose 11-1, try to get a win, in fact. So that is just kind of what that was kind of the vibe, is just throw this one away and come back tomorrow, try to get a win.
Obviously, after Kyle came out, it kind of turned into, okay, let's just finish this game, at least by the way that David Ross was using his bullpen. Did anyone ask about why Ethan Roberts came into the game after throwing 30 pitches last night?
No, we did not ask about Ethan Roberts. I think that was just kind of, we can ask about that tomorrow, but there's also the fact that he probably wants to see a lot of the guys, considering the rosters shrink in 2 days. Mm-hmm. I think that's why you saw, obviously, Norris was out there. Leiter, even though Leiter just started a game and pitched 2 innings on Wednesday, he was out there. Sean Newcomb was out there too, and then obviously Ethan Roberts. I think he just wants to see the guys, and obviously it's not a high leverage situation where he needs to throw Keegan Thompson or anyone like that and just kind of finish the game. So I don't think there's anything to look into that at all.
Well, we also had mentioned a couple days ago that the way it works out, if guys when guys come back, not only do the roster shrink, but when guys come back, there might not be a start for Leiter. So this would be a different role. I know he did just pitch the other day, but it's possible he won't be starting again. Just if guys are healthy enough, and if Alec Mills is ready to go, I would assume you're starting Alec Mills over Leiter Jr. Is that a possibility that he wanted to see him in a small relief role just to see if they had something there roster wise?
Yeah, I think that's the idea. And we talked about it before on the show. Is he looks like, when he goes the first time through the order, it looks solid. He gets maybe a little bit of traffic, but nothing too bad. And then he obviously the second time through the order doesn't work as well. So Mark Leiter Jr. can be. I think that was the idea. Is he's a relief guy, or he can be a relief guy. We kind of did the math, and we were talking about it in the last show, or one of the shows last week or earlier this week. I'm so lost on the days. But just the fact that they won't need that 5th starter,
right?
Just the way the off days are coming. So I think he just wants to take a look at Mark Leiter Jr. and see is he a guy that can come in for a couple innings and pitch well, and not have to face the order more than one time through. It's kind of the same role that Michael Rucker's in. I think he's trying to prove himself in that same role. So, when it comes to the roster, maybe I think you could have seen Michael Rucker in there today. Those two honestly could have switched roles, and that was at the 6th inning or whatever it was, 7th inning, between Rucker and Leiter. So, yeah, I think that's a lot of what this weekend might be, is just seeing what you got and some of these guys, and when you lose 2 roster spots, I think they can hold up to 14 pitchers. There's obviously going to have to be a couple guys that get sent down, or depending on which way he goes, DFA'd. So I think that's a big thing to look for this weekend, is who guys like Leiter Jr., who probably aren't going to be rotation pieces for the long haul, but can they be bullpen guys and come in for a couple innings and spell, just kind of bridge the gap between whoever the starter is and then the back end of the bullpen.
I'm a little confused because I thought the roster spots got extended. Is it
just the amount of pitchers that they can carry, but not the actual spots, right?
14 pitchers. 14 pitchers through May 30th, I think it is.
Yeah.
So just an extra month, because I think it was supposed to be 26 and 13. So they still are shrinking the rosters by 26, but they're allowing teams to carry 14 pitchers until I want to say it's May 30th, so like right around Memorial Day. Yeah.
So how many pitchers, how many relievers and starters do they have? Do you have off the top of your head? Anyone?
Yeah, Cubs have 15. I'm fairly certain.
Okay.
15
so
and
one of them
13,
will
I
have
guess
to go. Yeah.
At least one.
Yeah.
At least one.
Yeah, at least one. Unless they decide to do 13 and 13, especially with the off days coming up, that could be something they do.
Yeah.
So you could see a couple guys get, I think Leiter and I want to say Rucker both have options left that could go down, and they can keep Rivas's bat up, or they carry 14 pitchers and Rivas probably is the odd man out with options left. And we'll see. And obviously in a couple days you'll get that answer, on Monday you'll get that answer of who's on the team and who's not. So Ross wouldn't tell us what he's got in mind. So we'll find that out in a few days.
Don't mention Rivas. It'll get Cody all riled up.
Ryan already kind of mentioned this to me earlier, and I get it because of options, but man, do the Cubs need him in the lineup right now. So I hope
2 of their 3 hits.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 hits.
Which brings us to, you know what? Who you got? Who you got picks. Ryan, you had Seiya?
I had Suzuki, and he go over 4 today. Yeah.
Yeah. And I took Kyle Hendricks. That did not go well.
And I had Rivas.
Cody had the guy who had Rivas. 2 hits of the 3 hits. So Cody gets his first win. We each have one win, and who you got? There it is. The first one ever.
At least one of us is flying a W tonight. Shit.
I'm willing to give this one to you, Cody. I'm willing to give it to you.
You're willing, even though,
taking a page out of stuff.
I guess we can give it to him, but my guy did go 4 1/3.
Cody, I also got an interesting spin zone. You might like this.
I do love a good spin zone.
So that they scored a run today. The Cubs did score. According to the Cubs game notes, coming in, the Cubs had scored at least 1 run in 65 consecutive games dating back to August 12th of last year. And that is the longest active streak in the majors. And they extended it today by scoring a run.
There we go.
So the offense might not be dead, because they keep at least scoring 1 run every game. They're not getting shut out. So that's
3.
You need a spin zone for this game.
3 hits.
There's your spin zone. Haven't been shut out since August of last year.
By the way, our guy Ravi on the chat says Cubs game almost sucked as much as the Bears' 3rd round pick today, with a 25-year-old wide receiver instead of offensive line and defensive line. So
what's wrong with 25-year-olds?
Oh, that's right. It's a guy your age.
25.
Welcome to being 25, because as soon as you hit 25, people start looking at you different, because when you get on the wrong side of 25, then they start calling you old.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Apparently, if we're calling, what's his name? Like Varus Jones, something like that. Vernon Jones.
Velas?
Guy out of Tennessee.
Velas.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Velas Jones, the guy out of
parents
Tennessee.
did that guy have?
Yeah. Yeah, but apparently he's older than David Montgomery.
Yeah.
David Montgomery is younger than that.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think Montgomery is like 24 right now.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But you know what? 25 is still like a good age in baseball. I think
Boris Jones.
So take that.
Robbie
Boris
loved that one.
Boris Jones. I don't remember his name.
Any other nuggets out there for us? Any news and nuggets for us from Milwaukee?
Nothing
Were there a lot of Cubs fans at Wrigley North? Our mentions keep being told that we don't know how to fill our own ballpark. Did we fill our home in Milwaukee?
There was a lack of Cubs fans today. I gotta say there was not. It was like not. I mean, the ballpark wasn't filled to begin with. It was a little less capacity then. But I did hear probably louder cheers when Brewers did things than when Cubs did things. But then again, the Brewers had more
Cubs didn't do anything at all.
Cubs only had 3 hits. How much cheering can you do?
No, but I definitely expected more Cubs fans in the stands, because that's what usually you get up here for Cubs Brewers games. But nope, it was a sad showing.
Yeah, we all have an off night. They'll be there tomorrow. It's Saturday night. You go do some tailgating. drink their Miller Lite, then pay the bills so they can have their electricity on. It's cool.
Yeah, Michael Jordan didn't win every game.
That's
He
right.
didn't win every game.
That's right. He didn't win every game.
Jordan didn't win every game.
Michael didn't play all 82 every year. All right, so
And
he did most years though.
And all you haters of that draft pick out there, just remember that he told reporters that he feels like he has the body of a 21-year-old. So there.
Big time. Well, he didn't play for like his first 3 years of college. So
yeah, right. He feels like he's 21. I feel like I'm 25. So there.
Yeah, I'm 31 going on 12 the way I feel sometimes.
50 going on 18 right here.
yeah, right here.
All right, Ryan, we'll let you go. We know you want to enjoy your time there in Wisconsin.
It's
all
not
the fun
it's
that
not
can be
hard
had
to
there.
do there, but go get some spotted
definitely
cow.
have
Bring
to
it back
go.
to the office.
Spotted
I was
cow.
gonna say I have to stock up on my spotted cows.
Get some
before I
Moon
leave
Man
here.
too, if you want.
There's room in the
Maybe.
fridge here, so whatever you can fit in the car. Sure, I'm sure.
And then drive
Jake or
by the
somebody will pay
Pheasant
you
Farm
for it.
and tell those people that bandwagon Bucks fans for the last 4 years I said, fuck you.
Well, we're off the rails. Let's go back to the Manscaped ads. What do you say?
I apologize. Not
All right.
really.
We'll see.
All right, Ryan.
See you, Ryan.
Talk to you. Thanks for jumping
Take care.
on.
I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, on that note,
I need
want to
some
start your day
Strava
tomorrow with a
coffee.
competitive edge? Strava CBD coffee is a game changer. It'll smooth you out a little bit, Cody, and it's helped thousands of people improve their overall wellness and quality of life. Strava delivers delicious, fresh roasted specialty coffee infused with organic broad spectrum CBD. CBD from hemp doesn't make you high or hungry, but it does offer real benefits that can help you feel alert and focused without the jitters. Live your day more balanced, Cody. No outbursts, less anxiety, fewer aches and pains. Plus, including CBD in your daily routine can even help you enjoy a more restful sleep so you wake up feeling your best. And the best part, Strava is all about quality, small batch, all of it, fresh and shipped straight to your door. Strava also offers concentrated full spectrum CBD for those looking for a more traditional CBD format with a powerful entourage of effects and benefits. CHGO listeners can save 25% off the entire purchase when you use the code CHGO25. That's 25% off your entire order at StravaCraftCoffee.com when you use the code CHGO25 at checkout. Discount coupon valid on non-subscription purchases only. One use per customer. I always screw up that part right there. It always gets me with the discount coupon. Already love Strava? Subscribe and save with Strava Coffees Club. The Strava, you're in control. Save on your favorite coffees and have them automatically delivered to your home or office on your preferred schedule.
Matthew says Spotted Cow guarantees a win even if the Cubs lose. That's true. Spotted Cow is like one of the very few good things about the state of Wisconsin.
Door County, I love Door County too. It's a pretty state in some areas. Nice water, good fishing. Good
northern
fishing.
Wisconsin's pretty nice.
Yeah, we get some good bass fishing up there pretty soon. Anyways, let's talk about tomorrow because the sun will come up tomorrow.
Will the sun come up tomorrow?
Justin Steele on the mound against Eric Lauer. And here's what I'll tell you about Eric Lauer. 16 and a third innings this year, 23 strikeouts, and just 4 walks. That sounds like he's off to a pretty good start and could be challenging to an offense that has put up 3 hits in back-to-back games.
Yeah. I will say that I do not feel great about tomorrow. Just to get it out there.
What about Steele? What would make you feel good? What kind of outing would make you feel good about Steele? Because he's, like Kyle Hendricks, has had a couple good starts, a couple not so good starts.
Yeah, my guy Justin Steele, he needs to find that fastball command. If he finds that fastball command, he can go 5 innings at least tomorrow. That's what he's struggled in his last few starts that he's had, because he's walked guys and then his pitch count gets up, and then once that happens, he gives up a homer, or he gives up an extra base hit with a guy that he walked on or something like that. So it's not going to be easy, but he is someone who, we gotta watch and let it play out and, go ride the roller coaster with him. So, I like him tomorrow because he pitched very well against Milwaukee in the second game of the year. Remember, it was Justin Steele, and then
here's the game log.
Game 1 against Milwaukee went 5 innings, 4 hits,
that was
0 earned, and a
lot of
walk.
optimism after that start.
Yeah, and 5 strikeouts. I mean, and then Keegan Thompson came in and pretty much piggybacked off him, and they won the game.
And he was good
easily.
at Colorado too.
Yeah, so you're hoping for something similar to that tomorrow. I don't expect him to go 5 clean innings. I expect Milwaukee to get on the board tomorrow based off what we've seen in recent starts. But if he can go 5 innings less than 3 runs or less, that's a W to me for him. So, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But as far as the offense against this Eric Lauer guy, who no one's ever heard of, but magically has came on the scene and struck out 23 guys in 16 and third innings, I'm just going to assume the Brewers are just injecting steroids into him. Thank you.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
These are things we saw today. We saw the Cubs lose 11-1 to the Brewers, right?
Thank you for reminding me.
We saw Kyle Hendricks get pounded. We saw a strange man in a bear costume interrupt a podcast.
Yeah.
We saw Steven, our producer, show up in a Kevin White jersey
He's
for draft
still
day.
wearing it.
Still owns it. Well, I mean, if you're not willing to take that to Goodwill, what are you willing to take there?
It fits well. I don't know what to tell you. It's a Bears jersey that fits well. I actually interviewed him that day. I was a credentialed reporter over there, and I thought it was a good pick. I was wrong. Very wrong.
It's like the girl that's never been kissed before that says, "I'll never wash this cheek again." When she gets kissed on the cheek, he's never going to take off that Kevin White jersey.
What you do now is you put duct tape over the name, and whoever wears 13
and you hope that
now.
the 25-year-old guy wears that jersey.
Yes, there you go.
Well, the worst thing is he changed his number afterwards too. I think he switched to number 11.
So you don't even have the right number
It
for
doesn't make
Kevin
sense
White
anymore.
Was there another guy who wore 13 for the Bears? I can't think of anybody.
Does anyone on the Bears have 13?
Anyway.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Robbie says, my Mitch jersey I wear sarcastically.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You just put duct tape over it.
I have 2 Mitch t-shirts. I have 99 problems, but Mitch ain't one.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then I have a Mitch is our quarterback t-shirt. They were both given to me as gifts. Now I use them for yard work. So that's going to wrap things up. Hopefully it gets
sums
better.
Up Chicago sports
Hopefully
for you.
the weekend gets better.
We hope.
On Saturday.
I need it. I do not want to go to bed angry Saturday night.
Thanks for dropping in to check out the CHGO Cubs post-game show. Cubs lose 11-1, but there's always tomorrow.